Right now, a small rectangle of glass is waiting in your pocket. You haven't touched it in 9 minutes. That feels like forever. Your hand is already moving toward it. You tell yourself you're just checking the time. But the real answer is far stranger than that. This isn't about willpower. Something much older is running the show. Something built long before screens existed. Picture your ancestor at the edge of a forest 60,000 years ago. She hears a rustle in the leaves. It could be food. It could be a predator. She doesn't know yet, and that not knowing is unbearable. She has to check. That itch to resolve uncertainty kept her alive. Humans who checked survived. Humans who shrugged didn't always get a second chance. You carry that same circuitry today. Except now, the rustle is a notification sound, and you check it 100 times a day. Deep in your brain sits a small cluster of cells that produce dopamine, a chemical that says, pay attention, this might matter. For decades, scientists thought dopamine was simply the pleasure chemical. Reward equals happiness. Simple and wrong. In the 1990s, neuroscientist Wolfram Schultz gave monkeys a juice reward paired with a light cue. Over time, the dopamine spike stopped firing when the juice arrived. It fired earlier, the moment the light appeared, the moment a reward might be coming. Your brain doesn't crave the reward. It craves the maybe, the rustle before you know what's there. That's why a notification badge, a small red circle, gives you a pull in your chest before you've even read it. The pull isn't about the message. It's about not yet knowing what it is. In the 1950s, psychologist B.F. Skinner gave pigeons a lever that paid out a food pellet every time. They pressed calmly. Then he changed one thing. The lever paid out randomly instead. Sometimes nothing, sometimes a reward. The pigeons didn't calm down. They became frantic, pressing constantly, unable to stop, because they never knew which press would pay off. Skinner called this variable ratio reinforcement. It produces the most obsessive behavior ever recorded in a lab. Your phone runs on exactly that schedule. Not every scroll pays off. Sometimes it's nothing. Sometimes it's wonderful. You never know which pull of the lever will land. That unpredictability isn't a flaw. It's the entire engine. Your ancestors' uncertainty resolved quickly. The rustle was a bird, or it wasn't, and then it was over. Modern notifications never fully close. One leads to another and another before you've finished reading the first. Neuroscientist Robert Sapolsky studied wild baboon troops for decades. Baboons unsure of their exact rank showed higher stress than baboons with a stable rank, even a low one. Certainty, even bad certainty, is easier on the body than not knowing. There's a social layer underneath this too. For most of human history, you lived in a band of 30 or 40 people, everyone you'd ever known. Falling out of favor there wasn't minor. It could be fatal. So your brain built a radar for social inclusion, always scanning for whether your place in the group was safe. Now that radar is pointed at likes, comments, who's online, who left you on red. It was calibrated for 30 people. It's now running on an audience of thousands, and it never turns off. None of this feels like a choice because it isn't one. Not in the moment. Your ancestor didn't deliberate before turning toward the sound. You don't deliberate either. The thumb moves before the thinking brain catches up. So what do you do with an alarm system this old? You can't switch off the wanting. But researchers studying digital habits point to something simple. Friction, not willpower. Move the app off your home screen. Turn off badge numbers. Leave the phone in another room at dinner so the rustle has to travel further to reach you. Give the old systems something honest to chase too. A walk outside. A real conversation. A task with a clear beginning and end. Something that actually resolves. The way the rustle used to resolve, instead of looping forever the way a feed does. The same instinct that made your ancestor turn toward a sound in the dark is still alive in you. It isn't broken. It's a survival tool doing exactly its job, just aimed at the wrong forest. That small rectangle of glass is still waiting. You haven't touched it in 9 minutes. That still feels like forever. But now you know why. It was never really about the phone. It was always about the leaves.